Where do you think is the best place for us to go to get truly organic produce?
I just traveled to Seattle, and I'm in the airport, and I'm like, there's no food here I can eat. So guess what? I went hungry. Because I'm not gonna, I don't want to just eat anything. And so what happens is you start to see the world a little bit differently. It's like, oh, okay, so you go to the gas station and there's apples. It's like, I don't think I'm going to eat that. Or you look in that machine back there and you're like, oh, baked, that must be healthy. Oh, wait a minute. No, so you begin to redefine what you consider to be healthy. So you have to either plan ahead and find something that you can eat to take with you, or you have to identify like sources, like little beacons of places that you can go. So like where I work, there's certain places that I will go. There's a international market down by Belmont, and they have a brown rice vegetable tofu thing that I eat. Now, is it organic? Oh no, it's not organic. So it's not like, oh well, I'm so pure now that I'm not a part of the world and I can't just eat a potato chip. You know, it's that you want to support your system as much as possible, and as you're aware of what does support your system, then you make choices from that. So if I decide I'm going to eat at international market and I'm eating broccoli and it's not organic and the rice isn't organic, I'm not going to freak out.
Do you have any suggestions on where to buy organic in the area?
You find them. You hunt them out.
Kroger is getting a bigger selection of organics. Hey Scott, we're actually getting really close on time, and I'd love for you to touch on the other points too, on bacteria as well as alkalinity, because I know we haven't even approached those subjects
Okay, how
yet.
We got
We got 15 minutes. And I know that Tanya specifically wanted to hear about probiotics, and that's all in the bacterial portion.
Okay. Okay, well then I'm going to try and be as practical as possible. Another extremely important, what I would consider to be a leverage, is the bacterial content of your body. Okay, does everyone know that you have bacteria in your body? Okay, you know. Okay, so the bacteria perform many, many functions. In fact, there's so much bacteria in your body that it's on your skin, it's in your eyeballs, it's in your brain, it's in your blood. It's in your stomach, it's in your small intestine, it's in your large intestine. In fact, if you isolated all the cells of your body and counted them, you'd have more bacteria in your body than cells making up your body. They perform a lot of functions, and the waste of the bacteria performs a lot of functions. So this is literally living creatures within you that are giving off waste, and the waste is a form of nectar that helps your other physical functions, physical organs to function. So your liver, speaking of liver health, benefits from the waste of the bacteria. It helps to keep your insides sterile. It helps to give you energy. Their waste is also B vitamins. So if you're low in energy, it's possible that you're low in probiotics. So you want to be aware of the things that suppress the bacterial content of your digestive tract. So one thing that does that is we talked about the fast food and the chemicals that might or might not be in the hamburger. Well, McDonald's just announced recently that they've stopped putting antibiotics in the hamburger itself. They called it a pink foam. Okay, and there was a movie that was made about food, and they actually filmed the antibiotics being put directly into the meat. Okay, so that's to prevent the bacterial contamination of the meat itself. But then what that is also doing is giving the consumer of that a low-grade dose of antibiotics and suppressing the bacteria. So you could be aware of the probiotics and the importance of them in your system. But then if you're eating even a single McDonald's, or not to pick on McDonald's, but fast food in general, if you're eating those products, then you're going to continually kill off those bacteria and then suffer the consequences of the benefits of what the bacteria would provide. And again, the bacteria are so critical to your health. If you're not familiar with the things that they do for yourself, and you have any type of malady, then I would say research it on your own, because there could be a correlation when you discover what the bacteria do for your health. And you're not going to hear that, you're not going to read about it in the newspaper. But if you go online and you begin to study the benefits of the bacteria, and just because we're short on time now, I could just go into and say that they're this, this, and this. Now, what are food sources of beneficial bacteria? The kombucha drinks that are now becoming popular that you can get at a health food market, or a vitamin shop, or like a yoga studio. It's a drink that's an actual cultured drink. Yogurt, you know, we see the Activia commercials and whatnot, and you're like eating yogurt. But what you want to realize too is that when they're milking the cows, they're using antibiotics as well. So there's antibiotics that carries over into the milk. And so if you're creating a probiotic product, you really want to have it not have any contact with the antibiotics. So you really want to have an organic probiotic type of a product. So it seems like a lot of trouble to have to be aware of these things, but these are the components that make up health, in my opinion, is to get the live culture. Now it might say cultures on it, but I just want everyone to be aware that there's a lot of studies that have been done that there's no live cultures in a lot of these products. And so even though it's called yogurt, yes, it's a cultured product, but it's not actually living when you consume it. So, well, that's really confusing. You know, how do you keep track? Well, what you do is you eat multiple products. So there's so many different types of products, and a goat milk, sounds disgusting, but it's a particularly good protein structure that the beneficial bacteria like, and they continue to thrive in your digestive tract. So a goat milk yogurt is a good, just very practical way that you can help have the probiotics. And now we also have, we seem to view that the probiotics or bacteria is something that, you know, gets on a chair or gets on a table and you want to spray it with Lysol. Actually, we're in a sea right now, we're all exchanging bacteria, and it's a beneficial thing. It helps us in community to be healthy, just breathing in and breathing out.
One of the things Scott had said yesterday that really hit home with me about probiotics was that the good bacteria in your body excretes waste, which is toxic to the bad bacteria in your body. So essentially, the good bacteria in your body, the probiotics in your body, are natural antibiotics.
So I think that's why you're having these classes, is to try and get the most recent cutting edge information.
I just have a question. I've heard a lot of people talk about the pH and the body levels. How do you test for that to know whether you're above or below?
The last 5 minutes, Scott, will you touch on pH and the importance of pH? And you all do have a handout on pH as well.
Most Americans are 100 times too acidic, according to one author that is writing about the body's ability to detoxify. And so when I say the body's ability to detoxify, we do have an ability to detoxify. And it's very critical to health. And that's one of the reasons behind being aware of what you're eating, as far as is it alkaline forming or is it acid forming. If it's acid forming, then your body has to remove those acids, because if you become too acidic, then your body has to correct itself to become more alkaline. One of the most common ways that that's being accomplished today is robbing alkalines from your bones. So in this country, we have the highest bone loss illnesses of the entire planet. And partially it's related to our lack of awareness of the acid-alkaline balances. It's very, very easy to understand. Cooked food is typically acidic. Raw food like these apples and celery and whatnot, is alkaline forming. So that's it. The more raw type plants that you eat, the more alkalines that you get. Your blood is about 7.35 pH. Most of the food, like any of those Cokes back there, is about 3, 2.5.
I think there's even a fact on your sheet that says one soda at a 2.5 pH would require 32 glasses of a water so alkaline that it's a 10, and most of us aren't even drinking 10 pH water. It would require 32 glasses of a 10 pH water to alkalize that one soda at 2.5 pH.
Right.
And your water, I can promise you, your water is not.
This is 7.8.
Yeah, and that's special water. So regular water is not even that alkaline.
Right. So the general culture is going in this direction. And you just want to be aware, wow, I'm a part of a culture that is consuming mostly acid-forming type foods, not supporting the alkaline type forming foods. So you have to make a choice to say, oh, I'm going to do something differently. Even that V8 back there, that's
Good stuff.
if you did, I mean, if you tested the pH on it, it's probably on the acid side. Sometimes they say we're low salt, but it's cooked, and when you cook something, it raises the acidity of it. So so I guess that we're out of time, and you know, thank you for having me here. I know it's.
I would say surprisingly, lemon, as much as you would think it's acidic, is actually alkaline. So if you put a little lemon in your water, you're alkalizing your water and you don't even know it. And I would say increase your greens. Don't you think that I think increasing your green consumption is a great way to increase your alkalinity. The more raw greens you can put in your diet. I've recently gotten on a kick of making green smoothies every day. I know it's not for everybody, but it's a great way to get greens in. You mix it with a little fruit, add an apple or a carrot in there, it sweetens it all up. And I tested, because I tested my pH probably 2 years ago on a Pro Advantage strip, totally acidic, and I thought I ate a pretty good diet. And then recently, after doing a couple months of green smoothies in the morning, I did it again, and I'm totally in the green. So it does work. I am officially alkaline, at least for this week.
It'd be fun to test.
Yeah.
It is interesting, but I will tell you, when I was first orange, I was kind of depressed because I thought I had a great diet, and I was like, what do you mean I'm acidic? So, you know, just be aware.
I think that's the part that can be daunting, right? Because in a lot of cases you think you're doing the right thing, but one, there's a lot of conflicting information, and then, you know, how do you make sure that it's the
Well,
thing?
thank you. That takes me right back to the beginning, and that is, whatever you do, it's the right thing.
It's up to you.
It's the right thing. Don't waste any time like, oh, I should have done something different, because everybody's saying that. So if you're making the choice, if you're drinking the V8, it's the right thing. So the reason why is because you're probably not doing all the right things, and you just don't want to waste your energy feeling bad about it, really. So if I'm with people and they go through McDonald's, I'm like, hey, have fun. You know, I'm not going to jump in front of them. Don't, you know. So, you know, I'm a normal person too. I'm not like, you know what I mean? Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.